What's up? It's ADR back with ADR's Premier League review, and you are with your host, ADR. I appreciate all the new subscriptions, honestly. The people that have been commenting down below, the likes, everything like that. I just want to let you guys know I'm very grateful for everything. We're at 133 subscribers now. Let's try and hit 140 by the end of the week, right? You got to set little goals with yourself along the way. If we can surpass 140, that'd be great. Remember, share this with everybody, like, subscribe. Please do everything to try and get this out here. Again, we're trying to produce some more content for you guys. So the more likes, more subscribes, more shares, more comments down below, that helps with the algorithm. We can put budget back into this thing. So let's get started. Topic today is the 5 Premier League players that I think are going to be standouts this year. Not only that I think are going to be standouts, but also some that I think have to be standouts. Have to be standouts for their team to do better than what they would normally be doing, and possibly be in conversations for some different things that they wouldn't normally be in, right? So let's get into this list. Number 1, and this is all in no particular order. I'm just kind of going down this list. It's a list of 5, and everybody can go anywhere. It doesn't really matter. But number 1 for me on the list is Emile Rowe, right? ESR was formerly an Arsenal player, now at Fulham. I think just from the look of him in preseason, along with me looking at his time at Arsenal, I mean, he's a goal-scoring midfielder. Let's be completely honest with you. His ability to get in spaces, to create chances and score goals is very, very good. It was good at Arsenal, and it's going to be good at Fulham, right? He's going to be the focal point. And I really think that his ability to drive with the ball, bring players on the opposing team towards him, dish it off, and continue runs is going to be huge for Fulham. His work rate really goes under the radar. This man works his butt off. And then again, I think him getting consistent playing time is going to be something that really, really helps him. I think he's going to be able to get in some of the England squad during the season when they have the breaks, the international breaks. I think that Emile Rowe, ESR, is going to be huge in this upcoming season. Hopefully he stays away from injury. But, you know, one of the things I kind of wanted to debunk is that last year he was injured. He wasn't injured last year. Arteta just didn't want to use him. For whatever reason. I think it was a little bit of a slap in the face, if I'm being honest with you. But I do think, you know, managers have their reasons. But I do think when you look back at it, Arteta was grateful for Emile Rowe and Saka that one season. That they really saved his job. I mean, Arsenal was being carried by ESR and Saka for a good bit. I want to say 4 seasons back when Arteta's job was really on the line. So shout out to ESR. Honestly, I hope you do bigger and better things, my man. And, I hope that you do well, bar against Arsenal. But seriously, honestly, great player. I really think he'll be good in this upcoming season. Number 2, Kai Havertz. I think that Kai is going to be essential. I want another striker at Arsenal. I think a lot of the fans at Arsenal want another striker. But it doesn't look like with Nketiah staying, and that's a whole nother video for another thing. With Nketiah staying, with Jesus looking sharp this preseason, I think that Kai Havertz is going to have to do very well this season. I think it's going to be between him and Jesus. I think they're really, really going to have to be on the top of their game. I think Kai Havertz is really, you've probably seen other channels saying that Kai Havertz can score 20-plus goals this season. He's going to have to. I mean, if Arsenal really want to win the league, and as you saw in my predictions, I predicted Arsenal to win the league. I was also predicting that, hoping that we'd get a couple more signings. I can't say it with that full, you know what I mean, because we have Manchester City in the league. But I will say that Kai Havertz, for us to win this league, is going to have to really go for 20-plus goals. Not just in all competitions either. I'm talking about Premier League only. I'm going to be completely honest with you. A lot of people look at his stats from last season. I believe he scored 13 goals, and he played about 19, 20 games as a striker. The first half of the season, he was playing as that 8. I think, there was some grace period. He was transitioning from Chelsea, a completely different style of play, having to still, he's a very intelligent player, but still having to cope with what the manager wants him to do as opposed to what he's used to doing at a former club. It takes some grace period, right? But I will not be one of those people who relives how I felt about him when he originally signed. I didn't think that he was that player that we needed. I also don't think, and still, am on the fence about him being worth $65 million or 65 million pounds, but he's here now, right? So we have to embrace him, and I do think that he has some attributes that we need, and I think that he can continue growing. He's only 24, going on 25 or 25 now, and I think that Kai Havertz is going to have to be a big focal point and step up this year if Arsenal are to win the league. Number 3, Christopher Nkunku, a man who was riddled with injuries last season. I think for Chelsea to get to where they want to be, top 4, right, Christopher Nkunku is going to have to be huge this season. I see their managers playing some games that he's playing him as false 9. We know Christopher Nkunku to be a 10, right, and sometimes playing on the left. But we see them playing at false 9 and for Christopher Nkunku. I don't really know where they're going to play him. Obviously preseason's a time for you to experiment. But what I will say is regardless of where he is, on that pitch, he's going to have to be producing. He's going to have to be producing because Chelsea, if they want to reach where they need to be, cannot just rely on Cole Palmer, right? Cole Palmer really saved them in consistent games last season. I mean, he was absolutely phenomenal, right? And I could add him to the list. I could add Erling Haaland. I could add these guys. But these are the guys that like I said, not only do I think will be standouts this year, but I think they have to be for their team to reach a certain level. So again, Christopher Nkunku, his speed, his pace, his awareness, his ability to finish, I think is really what separated him when he was in the Bundesliga. But I think that's what he's going to have to bring to Chelsea and what they were expecting him to bring to Chelsea for that transition. How is he going to be? I think personally he'll be good, but how is he going to be in the more possession-based game, right? They're not going to be as transitional as they were last season. So I think that Christopher Nkunku has the technical ability, has the wherewithal, the ability, if he's going to be playing false 9, he needs to bulk up a little bit. But he is quick, he's fast, he's decisive, makes great runs, very intelligent. And I think that Christopher Nkunku could really, really be a great player this season going into the 2024-2025 season. Number 4 on the list, Diogo Jota. My man. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been a fan of this dude since even at Wolves. He is elite to me at finishing. I was having a conversation with my friend Rex, who will be on the channel soon. Shout out to Rex, Chelsea fan. But we were having a conversation about Diogo Jota, and I genuinely think that he is the best finisher in the Premier League. Now, not striker, right, because we know that's Erling Haaland, and not, I wouldn't say particularly goal scorer, right, because Haaland has that magnet of a left foot, right, very, very good with that. His awareness is very good. His positioning is very good. He plays on the best team with the best players, and he's very good in the air. But I think that Diogo Jota's all-around game, I think that he is the best finisher. He's extremely good with his head, left foot, right foot, and then his ability to create little spaces, right? So as a striker, as a number 9, you guys have seen it with Ruud van Nistelrooy, Didier Drogba, Thierry Henry. All you need is a half a yard, right, to be able to get your shot off. Diogo Jota, for me, really magnifies that. He will get you on his right foot, chop left foot, and then he'll hit it near post hard, low and hard in the corner. Keeper's not expecting it. He'll go shimmy between a couple players, back post, right, inside the foot. He'll go up for a header. His positioning in between defenders, between center backs who are bigger than him, is extremely good. Not only that, his link-up play is very good. I think his ability in reading the game is very good. I think Diogo Jota is, honestly, is an extremely good player. I think injuries slowed him down last year, but if he can stay healthy, and again, this list is barring people can stay healthy. I do have quite a few people on this list who were suffering from injury. But again, Diogo Jota, for me, I think is going to have to be key this year for Liverpool to be where they want to be with Arne Slot coming in, with, Diogo Jota, Luis Diaz, and then having Mo Salah still doing what he does. I think that those three could really be a huge attacking threat going forward with your mix of Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo and Harvey Elliott coming into the fold, right? So I think that personally Diogo Jota is going to be somebody who stands out this season, who shows the qualities that he has, and you will be seeing him in my FPL. My last player on this list is going to be somebody who not only do I think is going to have a standout season for his team, but also I think is also going to be kind of his breakout season. Amad Diallo from Manchester United. I think that Antony, we already know he's a write-off. Antony, he's pretty booty. Let's be completely honest with you. He has not lived up to the price tag. Ajax knew that. Ajax literally shafted Manchester United, let's be completely honest here. And they took that money and dipped. They knew the type of player he was. They knew that, I believe that they were only selling him for 35 million euros or pounds at the time. And Manchester United, like in Manchester United fashion, under their old regime, right? I still think that they still do some things similar to their old regime as far as overpaying for players and having high contracts and high wages. But Antony, they knew that they knew he wasn't worth that money, and yet they sold him for it. Ajax took that money and ran with it, and Manchester United got stuck with the player. I think that honestly, the only way for him to save his career, if I'm being completely honest with you, is moving to left back. Yep, crickets on that one. I'm going to be completely honest with you. That was the only place at Manchester United I felt like he looked like a player. Still has the technical ability, but my man's finishing and ability to beat a player one-on-one in the Premier League is just non-existent, right? So I think that's the only way to save his career. But who you put in that position is Amad Diallo. Man looks quick. He looks fast. He looks decisive. He looks direct. He has very good technical ability. He's a left footer, so he's going to cut in, and he has to work on some of his finishing. I think sometimes he telegraphs his shots, but these are all things that are going to happen with more minutes that you get, right? You understand the speed of the game, and then once you start understanding the speed of the game, that's when the game starts slowing down. There's progressions as a player. You, especially as you're getting more minutes, you get to it, you want to play as fast as you can, right? So especially as a winger, you want to play as fast as you can when you're very first starting to get the minutes under your belt, because you know that defender is going to be tight to you. So you want to make sure that you're not holding onto the ball too long and you're getting it quick. Then when you start to realize the defender's giving you a bit more space, then you turn quickly and you're going at him, right? So these are things that he's starting to do now. Now players know, okay, if I press too quickly to him, he's going to take 2 touches, be by me, pass it inside to Højlund, who's not, hopefully not going to be injured throughout the year for Manchester United, pass it in him, and I can make a run off, right? Now they're starting to see the speed, right? Then once they see that speed, they're going to back off of him and allow him to get some time. Now he's going to be running at them, right? So then he's going to go through transitions where the game starts to slow down for him, right? Starts off fast, then he starts to see, okay, now I've created a bit of a name for myself, so now I can slow the game down. Now I can start to see the game for what it is, and now when I'm cutting in on my left foot, I'm not going too fast. Now I see, okay, there's a gap here. Let me strike it through this gap. Okay, I can go around this player, play a 1-2, get it back inside the box instead of taking a shot outside the box, right? These are all little nuances that you start to pick up on as you start playing more and start seeing the game in a more progressive manner instead of seeing the game as, okay, I only have 60 minutes. I know I only have 60 minutes. Let me make sure I don't mess up. Let me make sure that the defender doesn't take the ball from me. These little things, he's going to start to not care anymore as he starts getting more minutes and starts realizing he's going to be that guy on that right-hand side, right? So that's my list of 5 players. Let me know in the comments who you think this year is going to be standout, who's going to be key for a specific team to either stay up from relegation, move from 15th to the top 10, things like that. You know, top 5, top 6, and who's going to be the progressive player that ultimately wins the title for whatever team that you support, whoever you think is going to win. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. I do appreciate it. Please comment down below again on who you think is going to be a standout player this year. And I was ADR. I do appreciate it. You guys have a good one. Peace.